If you're over 60 and using anti-aging products, you need to check your bathroom right now, because 15 of the most popular luxury brands are either poisoning you, scamming you, or permanently altering your biology without your consent. I'm about to show you exactly which ones, and then I'll give you the 4 products that actually work for under $50 total. 1. The 2500 Face Cream, that's just fancy Vaseline. A woman walks into Neiman Marcus and spends her entire Social Security check on a single jar of La Mer Crème de la Mer, believing she's purchasing 12 years of aerospace research and 6,000 experiments by physicist Dr. Max Huber. The price, $380 to $2,500. But independent laboratory analysis conducted in 2024 and 2025 reveals something the company desperately hoped you would never discover. La Mer shares 18 identical foundational ingredients with Nivea Creme, which costs $11 at any drugstore. The exact same molecular building blocks: mineral oil, petrolatum, and glycerin. When researchers conducted clinical hydration tests, La Mer produced an 11% moisture increase. Nivea, 12%. Both creams scored an identical -16 in transepidermal water loss reduction, the gold standard measurement for skin barrier protection. The legendary miracle broth that justifies the astronomical markup. It's an occlusive, meaning it simply sits on top of your skin and prevents water from escaping. Nothing revolutionary is happening at the cellular level. You are paying 200 times more for a turquoise jar and an origin story that belongs in a novel, not a laboratory. Drugstore-grade petroleum jelly with luxury packaging. But at least La Mer didn't permanently alter your biology. The next company can't say the same. 2. The Lash serum that changed women's eye. Color thousands of women began noticing something disturbing in the mirror. Their blue eyes were turning brown. Their green eyes were shifting to hazel. The cause? A $155 lash serum called Rodan Plus Field's Lash Boost, marketed as a safe cosmetic enhancement. What the company failed to disclose would eventually cost them $38 million in a nationwide class action settlement. The ingredient hiding in plain sight on the label was isopropyl cloprostinate, a synthetic prostaglandin analog. This is the same category of active compound used in glaucoma medications, but Rodan Plus Fields was selling it as a cosmetic, bypassing Food and Drug Administration safety oversight entirely. The risks are severe and irreversible: permanent iris color change, eyelid drooping, and fluid buildup in your retina that can cause blindness. You were told this was a beauty product. In reality, it was a biologically active substance, altering the cellular behavior of your eyes without your informed consent. They gambled that most women would never connect their changing eye color to a lash serum. The $38 million settlement proves they lost that bet. But changing your eye color seems almost innocent compared to what the next company promised: rewriting your DNA in 7 days. 3. The gene-boosting lie that cost millions. Lancôme claimed their Génifique serum could literally rewrite your DNA to make you younger in 7 days. The marketing promised to boost genes' activity and stimulate youth proteins for visibly younger skin. The price for this genetic revolution? $132. The Federal Trade Commission had a different perspective. L'Oréal USA, Lancôme's parent company, faced federal enforcement action for making false and unsubstantiated scientific claims. This is exceptionally rare in the cosmetics industry, which tells you exactly how egregious the deception was. The underlying study that supposedly proved these genetic miracles, it merely evaluated gene expression, differences between young and old men. The researchers never tested the finished product. Topical cosmetics cannot penetrate deeply enough to reach your cellular nucleus where DNA lives. If a cream could genuinely alter your genes, it would be classified as a pharmaceutical requiring prescription oversight and years of clinical trials. Instead, Lancôme targeted you with pseudo-pharmaceutical language designed to sound credible enough to justify the premium price. Remember this company name, L'Oréal, because they're about to appear again, and when they do, you'll understand this wasn't a mistake, it was a strategy. 4. The Cindy Crawford Subscription Nightmare. You thought you were buying a $49 trial kit of Meaningful Beauty, the skincare line fronted by Cindy Crawford. 3 months later, you've been charged $800 and cannot reach a human being to cancel. Welcome to the subscription trap that has generated over 256 Better Business Bureau complaints in the last 3 years alone. Here's how the scam operates. You purchase what appears to be a 30-day introductory kit for $49. What the marketing deliberately obscures is that you've just been automatically enrolled in a 90-day replenishment program that will bill you over $300 in multiple installments. When you attempt to cancel, you encounter what industry insiders call dark pattern design, 48-minute hold times, chat queues that perpetually show as busy, and customer service systems engineered to make cancellation functionally impossible. Women over 60 have reported unauthorized charges totaling more than $800 before they successfully terminated the billing cycle. The products themselves are overpriced formulations with no clinical advantage. The predatory billing structure is specifically designed to trap consumers who trust celebrity endorsements. Cindy Crawford's face may be on the bottle, but the business model belongs in a fraud textbook. Keep that $800 number in your head, because when you try to fight back and seek legal help, you're about to get scammed again. But first, let's talk about the company that claimed their cream could repair your DNA. 5. The $92 night cream that can't actually repair your DNA. Estee Lauder claimed their advanced night repair serum could repair DNA damage at the cellular level. The promise was seductive, a $92 cream that could reverse the fundamental biological markers of aging. A class action lawsuit argued this was scientifically impossible and constituted fraudulent advertising. The marketing centered on an ingredient called micrococcus lysate, which sounds impressively pharmaceutical. The company suggested this enzyme could facilitate nucleotide excision repair, the complex biological process your cells use to fix damaged DNA. Here's what Estee Lauder didn't tell you. There is no food and drug administration-approved evidence that a topical cosmetic can perform this function. DNA repair happens deep within the cellular nucleus, far beyond the penetration capability of any cream. If a product could genuinely repair DNA in a way that reverses chronological aging, it would be classified as a pharmaceutical requiring prescription oversight. Instead, what you're getting is a hydrating serum being marketed as a molecular miracle. This represents the industry's most sophisticated deception, using legitimate scientific terminology to describe impossible outcomes. False advertising seems almost quaint compared to what's coming next. The next product is so chemically unstable, it transforms into a known carcinogen while sitting on your bathroom shelf. 6. The acne treatment. Turning into cancer-causing poison. Benzoyl peroxide was marketed as the safe acne solution for decades. Then scientists discovered it was decomposing into benzene, a known human carcinogen linked to leukemia, right, inside the bottle at room temperature. This wasn't a contamination issue. This was a fundamental chemical instability that the industry had ignored for years. The toxicological scandal broke in 2024 and 2025 when independent laboratory Lash began testing benzoyl peroxide products. Benzoyl peroxide is chemically unstable. It doesn't remain inert on your bathroom shelf. It actively degrades into benzene with exposure to normal temperatures, meaning the cream you thought was healing your skin was simultaneously generating a carcinogen. Testing of Proactive's 2.5% benzoyl peroxide cream revealed concentrations as high as 1,700 parts per million of benzene. That is 850 times the Food and Drug Administration's conditional 2 parts per million limit. You're potentially exposed through benzoyl peroxide acne treatments, dry shampoos, and other personal care items, all contributing to a systemic health hazard. The horror is simple. You applied this to your skin believing it was safe, while it was literally forming carcinogens in the jar. If you're realizing right now that the beauty industry has been lying to you your entire life, subscribe, because I expose scams like this every single week, and you need to know what's coming next. And benzene isn't even the worst chemical hiding in your bathroom. The next products contain the same toxins found in firefighting foam, and you bought them at Sephora. 7. The Forever Chemicals in $60 foundation. You paid premium prices at Sephora for foundations from Fenty Beauty and Anastasia Beverly Hills, trusting that high-end retailers curate for safety. Laboratory tests revealed your $60 foundation contained the same toxic chemicals used in firefighting foam. These are called PFAS, which stands for per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, more commonly known as forever chemicals. The beauty industry adds PFAS to long-wear foundations and waterproof mascaras because they provide exceptional durability. Your makeup stays flawless through heat, humidity, and hours of wear. The trade-off: these synthetic compounds don't break down in the environment or in your body. They accumulate in your bloodstream, organs, and tissues, persisting for decades. A 2021 study found PFAS in over 50% of tested prestige cosmetics. The health risks include immune system disruption and cancer. You assumed that spending more money at carefully curated retailers meant you were purchasing safer products. The opposite is true. High price does not equal toxicological safety. Remember that gene science scam from Lancôme? L'Oréal wasn't done lying to you. They just changed the price point. 8. When bar graphs lie, the youth code settlement. You might be thinking, wait, didn't L'Oréal already get caught for this with Lancôme? Yes. And they did it again anyway. L'Oréal plastered clinical study graphs across their youth code. Advertisements promising to crack the code to younger acting skin. The bar graphs looked impressively scientific, labeled clinical study in bold letters. There was just one problem. The studies never actually tested whether the cream worked. This was the same company behind the Lancôme Genifique scandal, but this time they targeted a different demographic with a lower price point of $25. The strategy was brilliant in its cynicism. If expensive serums can deceive affluent consumers, why not use the same fake science to exploit women seeking affordable luxury? This wasn't a mistake. This was systematic fraud. The phrase "crack the code to younger acting skin" is meaningless marketing poetry. What you're purchasing is basic moisturization wrapped in the language of cellular transformation. L'Oréal USA was caught twice, demonstrating that this wasn't an isolated mistake, but a business model built on deception. They understood exactly how to weaponize scientific imagery against consumers who trust that clinical terminology means clinical results. Think fake bar graphs are disturbing? The cream you're using right now might contain the same chemical used to embalm corpses. 9. The preservative that releases cancer-causing gas into your skin. Your expensive anti-aging cream contains a preservative that slowly generates formaldehyde, a chemical used to embalm corpses every time it touches water. This isn't contamination. This is intentional chemistry that mainstream cosmetic companies have been using for decades. The preservatives are called DMDM hydantoin and quaternium-15. When these chemicals come into contact with water, whether from your moisturizer or the natural moisture on your skin, they undergo a reaction that releases formaldehyde gas directly into your epidermis. Formaldehyde is a known carcinogen and potent allergen that causes chronic skin sensitization. The European Union limits these preservatives to 0.2%. The United States has no federal limit whatsoever. Your epidermal barrier is already thinning with age, which means higher absorption rates and increased vulnerability. The cruelty lies in its invisibility. These ingredients are listed on the label, but most consumers have no idea what DMDM hydantoin or quaternium-15 actually mean. The companies are counting on your lack of chemical literacy. At this point, you've probably noticed the pattern. Luxury brands lie about science. Celebrity brands trap you in subscriptions. Natural brands are about to poison you with mercury. The entire industry is designed around deception. And the next product proves it with mercury levels so high they'd be illegal to dump in a landfill. 10. Pfizer Beauty Cream, 28,500x. The legal mercury limit. 28,500 parts per million. That number is about to make sense in the most horrifying way. Pfizer Beauty Cream, manufactured in Pakistan and sold illegally through social media and immigrant-focused shops, contains 28,500 parts per million of mercury. That's 28,000 times the legal limit. This isn't trace contamination. This is industrial-grade poisoning, packaged as a beauty treatment. Mercury is added because it works. It lightens skin by preventing your cells from producing melanin. The cost? Your kidneys fail. Your hands and feet go numb, then they burn, then they stop working. Your skin turns grey, marking you as a victim. And your memory vanishes, headaches, confusion, tremors, symptoms that doctors dismiss as normal aging when you're actually being poisoned. Many jars arrive with no ingredient label whatsoever. The targeting is deliberate and predatory, exploiting women in communities with less regulatory protection. And Pfizer isn't alone. Gory Beauty Cream has 24,000 parts per million. Anisa Gold adds hidden steroids that cause diabetes. There's an entire underground industry. Right now, as you're watching this, someone is applying one of these creams and has no idea their memory loss isn't aging. It's mercury. You thought that was criminal? The next brand literally trademarked the word natural while contaminating you with the same forever chemicals we exposed in Fenty. 11. The natural makeup. That was anything but bare minerals, built an empire on a single promise. Their makeup was natural and free of any chemicals. This was the foundation of their entire brand identity, targeting health-conscious women who had learned to distrust mainstream cosmetics. Then a class action lawsuit revealed they had been lying about man-made PFAS contamination all along. This is greenwashing in its most sophisticated form. Shiseido, Bare Minerals' parent company, understood that women who seek alternatives to conventional beauty products will pay premium prices for that perceived safety. The betrayal is doubled. You paid more money specifically to avoid toxic chemicals, and instead, received the same industrial compounds that persist in your body for decades. The lawsuit revealed the same PFAS contamination we exposed in Fenty and Anastasia, except this time, the company built their entire brand on lying about it. Even skeptical consumers who read labels and research ingredients were convinced by the natural minerals messaging. You weren't being paranoid, you were being targeted. Drop a comment right now and tell me, which of these 11 scams shocked you most? Are you currently using any of these products? Because I want to know how deep this goes. And the next company took your compassion and turned it into profit. 12. The Cruelty-free. Lashes from tortured animals. Sephora sold them as cruelty-free luxury mink lashes, charging premium prices for what appeared to be ethically sourced beauty. PETA's investigation revealed a different reality. Minks kept in cramped, waist-covered cages, suffering conditions that would make any compassionate person recoil in horror. Lily Lashes, available at both Sephora and Amazon, was sued for false advertising. This ethical scam specifically targets women who care about responsible consumption. You've spent decades making purchasing decisions based on values, not just vanity. Companies like Lily Lashes understand this perfectly. They know the cruelty-free label increases sales and justifies higher prices, so they simply lie about it. These aren't accidental mislabeling errors. This is deliberate deception designed to extract money from consumers whose compassion makes them willing to pay more for products that align with their ethics. The investigation revealed animals in conditions of neglect and distress, the exact opposite of the humane treatment promised. You were sold a fantasy of responsible luxury. The reality was exploitation on both sides. Corporate betrayal is bad enough when it's just greed. But when artificial intelligence gets involved, the scams become almost impossible to detect. 13. The deep fake that sent a 67-year-old to the ER. You watched Oprah Winfrey explain a strange gelatin trick for weight loss and skin rejuvenation, her voice warm and familiar, her delivery characteristically enthusiastic. But it wasn't Oprah. It was an artificial intelligence deepfake designed to sell you poison. And it's already claimed real victims. Patricia, 67 years old, watched what she believed was Oprah's genuine endorsement. She lost over $300 to an unregulated website called LipoVive. The pills she received contained undisclosed stimulants that sent her to the emergency room with chest palpitations and dangerously elevated heart rate. When she tried to report the crime, she couldn't even prove which website she'd purchased from. The URL had already been taken down and replaced with a new scam. These 2025 AI-generated videos used cloned voices of both Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Mark Hyman to make claims that would never pass any legitimate medical review. The fake endorsements promised products would mimic Mounjaro or burn 35 pounds in 30 days, while simultaneously rejuvenating aging skin. Voice cloning has advanced to the point where even careful listeners cannot distinguish the deep fake from authentic audio. You've spent decades learning to trust Oprah as a source of reliable health information. These deepfakes weaponize that trust, using AI to create what feels like a personal recommendation from someone you admire. Patricia recovered, but when she searched for help to get her money back, she found something that seemed like the perfect solution. It was another scam. 14. The AI lawyer that couldn't actually help you. Sue, remember that $800? Meaningful Beauty charged you without consent. You're furious. You want justice. So you search online for help, and that's when the beauty industry's partner in crime finds you. Do Not Pay promised artificial intelligence-powered legal revenge, claiming it could help you sue companies or even replace the entire legal industry. The Federal Trade Commission revealed it was completely fake, part of their Operation AI Comply crackdown on AI fraud. Do Not Pay marketed itself as a robot lawyer that could automate legal services, specifically targeting older adults trying to escape beauty subscription traps. The promise was seductive: affordable, instant justice against companies that had stolen your money. This represents the most cynical layer of the scam ecosystem: fraudulent solutions to fraud. You've already been exploited by a beauty company using dark pattern billing. Now, when you search desperately for help, you encounter another scam promising to fight the first one. This is how the system protects itself. Scammers build traps around the exits, ensuring that even your attempts to fight back become another opportunity for exploitation. But after 15 years of deception, manipulation, and outright poisoning, you deserve to know that real solutions exist. After 15 scams, here's what actually works. After 15 chapters, you're exhausted. You're angry. You might even feel hopeless. And now I'm about to tell you to buy different products. Why should you trust me? Because I'm not selling you brands. I'm teaching you chemistry. The difference between La Mer and Nivea isn't the story, it's the molecular formula. The difference between SkinCeuticals and Timeless isn't the marketing, it's the pH level and active concentration. You've been lied to with scientific language for so long that you've learned to distrust science itself. But science isn't the problem. Corporate manipulation of science is the problem. The next 4 products will save you over $6,000 in 5 years. But more importantly, they'll give you something the beauty industry spent billions trying to take away: control. You'll be able to read the ingredient label and know exactly what you're getting. You'll understand the chemistry well enough to make your own informed decisions. Your dermatologist will tell you this is a mistake. Your daughter will ask why you're using cheap products. Your friends will wonder if you're okay financially. Let them wonder. But here's what you should do right now. Hit that share button and send this video to every woman over 60 you know. Not because I'm asking, but because they're being scammed and poisoned right now, and they deserve the same protection you're about to get. Your sister, your mother, your best friend. They need to see this because you're about to learn something they don't know. Expensive doesn't mean effective, it just means expensive. Here's your revenge. The Vitamin C Revolution, $27 versus $185. Walk into any dermatologist's office and they'll hand you a prescription for SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic. $185. Medical grade, they'll say, as if that justifies the price. What they won't mention is that timeless vitamin C plus E ferulic acid costs $26.95 and is chemically superior, not equivalent, superior. For brightening and collagen synthesis in aging skin, you need L-ascorbic acid, vitamin E, and ferulic acid. Timeless delivers 20% L-ascorbic acid. SkinCeuticals delivers 15%. You're getting a higher concentration while saving $158 per bottle. But concentration means nothing if the pH is wrong. Vitamin C must be formulated below pH 3.5 to penetrate your skin's acid mantle. SkinCeuticals operates at pH 2.5. Timeless, pH 2.4. More acidic means better penetration. This is biochemistry, not marketing. The affordable option is chemically superior. The peptide breakthrough, $11 beats $290. Your skin isn't making collagen anymore. That's not an opinion. That's biology. After 60, your natural collagen synthesis has dropped so dramatically that supplementation isn't optional, it's essential. And peptides are the signal molecules that tell your cells to start producing collagen again. Valmont charges $290 for peptide serums. The ordinary charges $10.90 for Matrixyl 10% plus HA. Same peptides, same concentration, identical molecular efficacy. The Ordinary's formula contains Matrixyl 3000 and Matrixyl synthesis at a 10% combined concentration. Matrixyl 3000 increases collagen synthesis by up to 117% in laboratory testing. This is a fundamental shift in how your skin behaves at the cellular level. Valmont will tell you their texture is better, their delivery system is more elegant, and their packaging is luxurious. You're paying $279 for fancy texture and elegant packaging. The molecular efficacy? Identical. The retinol alternative that doesn't burn. Here's the truth about retinol. It works. Retinol erases wrinkles and reverses photoaging better than almost any other topical ingredient. But for aging skin that's already thin and sensitive, retinol often causes flaking, redness, and stinging so severe that you quit before you see results. Dermatologists know about bakuchiol. It's a plant-derived compound from the babchi plant that performs identically to retinol in clinical testing. The breakthrough study was published in 2018 in the British Journal of Dermatology. 0.5% bakuchiol performed as effectively as retinol in reducing wrinkles and hyperpigmentation. Zero side effects, no stinging, no scaling, no redness. Why don't dermatologists mention it? Because Dr. Barbara Sturm charges $150 for bakuchiol serums and doesn't sponsor medical conferences. Well, People charges $20, same botanical compound, same clinical efficacy. You don't have to choose between results and comfort anymore. The foundation everything else requires. Here's what the beauty industry will never admit. Everything we just discussed is useless if your skin barrier is destroyed. Vitamin C can't penetrate. Peptides can't signal. Bakuchiol can't resurface. And if you're over 60, your barrier is almost certainly compromised. That's why this $15 cream is more important than everything else combined. Acure Radically Rejuvenating Night Cream contains a complex of 9 signal peptides, marula oil, and water lily extract. These work together to restore elasticity and repair the lipid barrier that thins dramatically with age. Drunk Elephant built their reputation on this exact polypeptide blend and charges $68. Acure delivers an almost identical molecular profile for $15. The Acure version is slightly thicker, which is actually advantageous for nighttime occlusion in dry aging skin. You need that protective seal while your skin undergoes its natural repair processes during sleep. Here's what these 4 swaps actually mean. Timeless over SkinCeuticals saves $158. The Ordinary over Valmont saves $279. Well, People over Dr. Barbara Sturm saves $130. Acure over Drunk Elephant saves $53. Replace these products twice yearly and you save $1,240 annually. Over 5 years, $6,200. That's a cruise. That's a car payment. That's financial security. You now possess the knowledge these companies spent billions trying to keep from you. Raw material integrity matters more than brand prestige. Clinical concentrations outperform marketing poetry, and affordable products can be chemically superior to luxury alternatives. You walked into this video as a target. You're leaving as a threat. Every dollar you don't spend on La Mer is a dollar they can't use to fund the next deceptive clinical trial. Every time you choose timeless over SkinCeuticals, you're voting with your wallet for transparency over manipulation. The beauty industry built a $100 billion empire on your trust and your insecurity. It's time to take both back. Share this with every woman over 60 you know. Not because I asked you to, but because they deserve the same protection you now have. The era of the $500 face cream is ending, and you just helped end it.